What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV. In today's video, continued coverage of E3 2017 with Bethesda Game Studios' Bethesda Land press conference. In the gameplay, you'll be seeing some Skyrim Special Edition making its debut on the channel. Unfortunately, this will not be portion of the full playthrough I will have of the game. That will actually begin next week. I think I'll try to live stream that for you guys, as Skyrim isn't really an experience that you can break into parts. I want to do different commentaries on the game, but at the same time, I'd like you guys to run through the game with me and experience it as I'm experiencing it, as if you haven't played this game, it's one of the greatest games ever made. It's absolutely phenomenal, and maybe that is why Bethesda just keeps re-releasing the game in different ways. But in today's video, we're not going to get into that. Keep your eyes open for the beginning of BTide Plays Skyrim Special Edition. But in today's video, breaking down that Bethesda Land press conference, Bethesda came out and they had a really short press conference this year. Last year, I think it was a pretty good press conference. They had a lot of information last year, whereas this year, not so much. So there were no new IPs announced. There were a couple sequels to Bethesda B games. So at Bethesda, you've got your big AAA super hype titles like Elder Scrolls and Fallout. And then you've got your lower tier titles. I don't want to say B titles because in the grand scheme of video games, they aren't necessarily B titles. They're still AAA games in every sense of the word, but they're not as important to Bethesda. If you get my drift, they're not as publicly endorsed by Bethesda like Elder Scrolls and Fallout are. These games are smaller on the production scale, but they still deserve to be talked about. We did get a couple sequels announced for those games, but there was also a bunch of new versions of previous games that were announced. So Bethesda VR was the first thing that they came out and talked about, which is the new VR division of Bethesda. They're really doubling down on this VR. I'm waiting to hear about Skyrim VR. I don't think that was announced this year. It wasn't in the press conference. I have seen people talking about it, but I don't believe there was an official announcement, but I'm just waiting to see that pop up. We've got Doom VFR, which I can only assume stands for virtual fucking reality, but I could be wrong. It's VFR. I don't know why. Fallout 4 VR, they talked a little bit more about that. We knew that was coming for quite some time. They talked about the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind, so this new expansion for the Elder Scrolls Online, and they actually went through all of the previous versions of Elder Scrolls Online, all of the previous add-ons, and the future add-ons that will be coming after Morrowind. I had no idea there was this many add-ons to Elder Scrolls Online. So we've got Imperial City, Orsinium, Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood, Shadows of the Hist, Homestead, and then we've got Morrowind coming, and then coming soon, Horns of the Reach, which looks like Skyrim. I want to say it's Skyrim, but I don't want to jump into that pit too quickly. It could be some other area very close to Skyrim, but the Reach is a hold in Skyrim, so I believe that's what that is. And there's Clockwork City, which looks like a Dwemer Empire. Like, there are Dwemer ruins in other Elder Scrolls games, but this actually looks like a living city of the Dwemer, which looks pretty cool. Those are coming soon, and they said at the end of the press conference that everything announced in this press conference will be out in 2017, so we can only assume that those two add-ons will be out in 2017 as well. Creation Club is a new add-on for basically Skyrim and Fallout 4. It's a new mod system. It's like a premium mod system. So it's coming out in summer 2017 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And it's going to give us new content for, like I said, Skyrim and Fallout 4. New weapons, armor, outfits, accessories, crafting, housing features, gameplay enhancements. And this is going to be an in-game selection with purchasables. You purchase things with credits, and I guess Bethesda works with other developers and the top community creators to give us like premium mods that we can use, and they will not impact our save games, achievements, and add-ons like other mods do. These are completely compatible. So it looks pretty cool. It's like a premium mod system for the players such as myself. I'm not a big trusting person when it comes to mods, but if it's actually coming straight out of Bethesda, I think I would be okay with letting them touch my game. Elder Scrolls Legends, they talked a little bit about that. Skyrim Switch, it actually looks pretty cool. And then finally, those big B games at Bethesda. So Dishonored Death of the Outsider, I'm not sure if it's an expansion or if it's actually Dishonored 3, but like a mini Dishonored 3. I'm not a big Dishonored player, never played the original Dishonored games, so I couldn't tell you what I think about it. It didn't really get a whole lot of gameplay influence. All we saw was a cinematic trailer, and it looks okay, but like I said, I've never played Dishonored, so I can't really judge it. On that same note, I can't judge Quake. Quake Champions was I guess you could say, a big part of this press conference. They talked about Quake Champions a lot. There's going to be this World Championship. Kind of funny, they're having a World Championship before the game actually comes out. The game is in beta right now, and the World Championship is in August. So the game will be very esports focused, to say the least. It looks very Overwatch, which could be cool for a lot of players, but I've never played Overwatch either, so I believe I'm out on Quake Champions. The last two games that we need to discuss that were the big hitters at Bethesda Land were The Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus. The Evil Within 2 had a gnarly trailer. It looks pretty damn cool. It was like a really crazy music video. It looked like a metal music video or something. The way that the cinematics were going through in this trailer, there weren't a lot of gameplay clips, but it looks to be just as true to the original as I can imagine. I do have the original Evil Within. I've never actually played it, but I have seen gameplay footage of it. And this game looks very, very similar. A true sequel, heart to heart. And Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus. I have played the original Wolfenstein, and it was a pretty damn cool game. I like the original Wolfenstein, the one that came out for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 a few years ago. That was my favorite Wolfenstein game. These ones are getting a little too futuristic for me, but Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus, apparently the Nazis have taken over America now, which was never a thing in the originals, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember how the first Wolfenstein finished. I don't know if I ever finished that game. So this looks pretty cool. It looks very different. It's like a Nazi America, and you have to form a resistance and fight against them. It's almost like Homefront, but in the Wolfenstein universe. So it looks pretty damn cool. I will probably be picking up Wolfenstein 2 at some point whenever I plan on finishing the first one. In terms of anything else from this press conference, there wasn't a whole lot here. There was some Elder Scrolls Legends, as I said, Skyrim Switch. It's just Skyrim, but on the Switch with some new different features. Quake Champions, very esports focused. I'm going to take a pass on that. The Evil Within 2, if I ever play The Evil Within 1. And Dishonored Death of the Outsider. Like I said, I'm not a big Dishonored player. If you guys are really hyped for any of these games, if you're hyped for VR, do you guys have a VR headset? Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you going to be picking up the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind? I don't know if I will, because I played Elder Scrolls Online and it's not exactly my cup of tea, but I will have a further commentary on that topic in the future, as well as my official BTide Plays Skyrim Special Edition coming up very soon. But before we get to that, we need to cover all of this E3 goodiness. So we still have the PlayStation conference and the Ubisoft conference coming up, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Tell me what you think about all of these press conferences, the Bethesda Land press conference. What did you like? What did you not like? In the comment section down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Consider supporting me on Patreon, follow me on Twitter at BlackTideTV, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.